Hi, good afternoon. My name is Shay Erickson. We're going to be cooking today. So we're going to cook 2 legs of lamb and we're going to roast it in the oven eventually. This is going to serve about 4 to 6 people, and you can also have some leftovers. In this segment, however, we're going to work on the marinade. This marinade is really good on lamb. Across the board, chefs always say that lamb meat takes a marinade great. This marinade is going to last overnight. So we're going to work on the tools now. Let me just go over a simple list of things you'll need. You're going to need a cutting board. You're going to need a couple of knives, one being a chopping knife. That'll chop the rosemary. You're going to need a knife to cut the lemon. Now, if you don't have 2 different knives, please don't worry, 1 knife will do. I have a mixing bowl. This bowl also has a pour spout on it, makes it easier only using 1 dish for both things to also pour it into the dish. Because there's honey in here, we're gonna need something to whisk and stir. I'm using a fork, and we're gonna need a spatula, and that's it. So now let's go over the recipe that you're gonna need, a list of things. We'll put it up on the screen now, but don't worry, at the very end of the segment, we'll also put it there for you. And here are the ingredients for your recipe. 3/4 cups of water, 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 2 3/4 tablespoons of Dijon mustard, 1 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 1 1/2 teaspoon ground pepper, 1 1/2 teaspoon minced garlic, 1/4 cup of honey, the juice from 2 wedges of lemon, 2 tablespoons finely chopped rosemary, 1 teaspoon balsamic vinegar, 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire. And that completes the rest of your list for this recipe. So let's go ahead and start preparing it. So now we're going to work on the marinade. Let's go ahead and get this prepared. In your mixing bowl, this is where everything's going to go. So let's go ahead and start with 3/4 cup of water. And in here I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Now this is Dijon mustard. If you're not familiar with Dijon, I'm going to show you what it looks like. They have something called Grey Poupon at Walmart. You don't have to get the expensive kind, so just anything that says Dijon on there. And for this, we're just going to need 2 3/4 tablespoons. So we'll put that in the mixing bowl. This is not spicy or anything. It's a nice mustard, pretty mild. It's going to add the heartiness of this marinade for you. We're going to put some salt, sea salt in there. I choose sea salt. I think the flavoring's a little bit better. It tends to work with the marinade more. It actually is going to take the juices and kind of solidify them inside that meat. Ground pepper. And for the honey, we're going to do 1/4 cup of honey. I prefer clover honey, but it really doesn't matter. If you have local honey, that's also a good thing. So we'll put that in there. Now, minced garlic, it's very finely chopped. You can get it where it's already minced. I think usually it's in the fruits and vegetables area. In Walmart, they have it, you'll see. If you want to do some lemon here, I've got lemon wedges, so I just cut 2 lemon wedges. I squeezed the juice, so this is fresh lemon juice here. Now, the rosemary, I'm going to chop this rosemary. And I've got a little bit started for you. You're going to finely chop this. Now, fresh rosemary, I think, works a little bit better. If you can't get fresh rosemary, just use dried rosemary. If you do, take about half of the portion in the recipe and just use that. So we'll put that in there. I'm going to show you the package for the recipe, rosemary. This is what it looks like. They're pretty little sprigs. The smell is amazing. That also adds to the heartiness. Now this is in Walmart in the fruits and vegetables section as well. You'll see a variety of herbs. You're looking for rosemary. We have some balsamic vinegar. And we also have the Worcestershire. And that's all the ingredients you need. Very, very simple. Now, the fork I told you that you're gonna use, because that honey is in there, the consistency is a little bit thicker, I'm gonna use it and whisk it up. And it really doesn't take that much. Just get it nicely mixed. The olive oil separates from the rest of the liquid, so you kind of just wanna whisk that until it mixes together. And that is it. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in with the lamb. The lamb here, I've got 2 legs as specified before. And I put it in a dish that I'm gonna have a lid on, and basically while it's marinating overnight for 24 hours, you can shake it up and you can open it up and then turn the lamb over halfway through. So basically getting all of the meat to soak up those juices. So here's your marinade. I'm just gonna pour it over. Where that spatula comes in handy. All right. Now, as said before, the lid, I'm gonna put it on here. If your lid is not tight, do not do this at home. We're gonna shake it up, and that's it. It's all ready to go. So we're gonna put it in the refrigerator overnight, and then I'm gonna see you back here tomorrow after it's been marinating. Welcome back. Today we're going to be cooking the lamb. So we have marinated it overnight in the refrigerator. I have preheated my oven to 400 degrees, and we're going to go ahead and get this lamb out. It looks beautiful. So we're going to take this, we're going to put it in 2 different dishes. I prefer glass dishes. Whatever you have that can bake is perfectly fine. So we're going to go ahead and take the meat. You're going to separate it into 2, and there's a reason for that, and I'll show that to you later. So separate them in there, and then the juice from the marinade you're going to split in half. Half of it's going to go in one dish, half in the other dish, okay? So just pour that all over the meat, and we're going to put that in our preheated oven. Again, it's at 400 degrees. We're going to do this for 30 minutes, and I'm going to put it in now, and I'll see you guys back in about 30 minutes or so. So it's been 30 minutes. I took the lamb out of the oven, and I've got it in dishes, and I got a little bit of water. You want maybe 3/4 of a cup of water, and that's gonna loosen up. So I'm gonna show you, come down here, I'm gonna show you what you're looking for. There's some burnt area. Now, if you have cooked your lamb for 30 minutes and you're not seeing this, keep it in the oven a little bit longer, but this is what you're looking for. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of the lamb, just kind of place it over here because I need to scrape that in there. So pour half that water in, and take a wooden spoon if you like, and go ahead and just scrape some of that onto your sauce. Now what happens is that kind of burnt stuff is going to give it more flavor, so you're really looking for that. It's going to turn your sauce a little bit darker, but it's going to add some depth of flavor for you. So you don't have to get it all off, just scrape enough that it's now in your sauce. So now you've got enough sauce here, if you'll see that. So that's good. You can put your lamb back in here because you've got to do the other dish. And we're going to pour the rest of the water in this one. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Just scrape a little bit of that. You'll see that's getting a little bit darker. And that's just going to add that depth. Now, if you guys don't get enough sauce out of this on the first try, you can always double the marinade the next time. If you were making, say, mashed potatoes and you want to make a gravy, this is a great gravy once you're doing it. So you can always add to that marinade just by doubling the recipe, and you'll just see more sauce here in the pan at that time. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. Now, the job is to baste, and you just want to kind of basically cover the meat. So that's gonna solidify some juices inside. Make sure the top is getting nice and moist. So just cover it like that. And then you're gonna do the other one. Make sure you're protecting your hands. These are hot pans. And once you've covered the meat, we're gonna go ahead and put that back in the oven. So I'm gonna put both of these back in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour. And you're gonna watch it and make sure that it's exactly what you want. So I'll see you back in an hour. So we're back. We've had the roasted leg of lamb in the oven for an hour. I've actually taken it out of the oven and put it on my cutting board, and I've left it for 10 minutes, so I'd like you guys to do that as well. The reason is that when you take it out, you leave it for 10 minutes, those juices that would normally just come out on the cutting board are getting soaked back up by that meat, so it's nice and tender when you get to try it. So let's go ahead and taste it and see how it is. You're gonna know it's done by this nice golden color that it is. It should be a medium to a medium rare on the inside. And I'm gonna go ahead and taste this and see how it is. Yeah, very good. So leaving it out for 10 minutes makes it nice and juicy. Make sure you do that. And I hope you and your family enjoy it. We're gonna put the instructions for this recipe and the recipe on the screen. And you guys take care and enjoy it. See you next time.